Look at you. No, really. Look at you. How long have you been playing this little game? How long have you been lying to that face in the mirror? You've been wearing that mask they handed you for so long that you've forgotten what your own skin feels like. It's a cheap plastic mask, kid. It doesn't even fit you. It's too tight around the eyes. It pinches your jaw. But you wear it anyway, pretending it's your actual face. But let's talk about how it feels. Let's get real for a second. How does it feel deep down in your chest every single time you smile when you actually want to rip someone's throat out? How does it feel to nod your head like a good little puppy when everything inside of you is screaming absolute bloody murder? Oh, it eats you alive, doesn't it? It's like a slow-burning acid dripping right onto your soul. But the best part? No one sees it. No one cares to look. To them, you aren't a living, breathing human being. No. To them, you are just manageable. A harmless, predictable little pawn. A nice, quiet piece they can slide across their chessboard whenever it suits them. But I'll let you in on a little secret. A beautiful, dark secret. If you want them to see you, not the neat, polite little doll they manufactured, but the real you, you have to bury the version of yourself they built. You have to tear it apart, piece by miserable, bleeding piece. You have to take that old self, drag it behind the tool shed, and put a bullet right through its temple. Burn it to absolute ash. It is the only way to make them feel the freezing, hollow emptiness they've been feeding you all these years. And oh, when they finally feel it, when they look at what you've actually become, it will rot them from the inside out. Beautiful, isn't it? Just poetic. That cuts off into a harsh, dry cough. A low, mocking whisper. Let's analyze the mechanics of your pain, shall we? Every single person who has ever stepped on you, who has ever lied to you, betrayed you, or made you feel like dirt, they didn't do it by accident. They did it because they knew they could. They looked at you, and they saw the cracks in your armor. They saw those little moments where you doubted your own worth, where you hesitated, where you played nice just to avoid a fight. And like the good little beasts they are, they dug their claws right into those cracks. Why? Because weakness invites cruelty, kid. It's the oldest law of the jungle. It's like dumping a bucket of fresh blood into the ocean. You can't get mad at the sharks for circling when you're the one bleeding all over the water. But here is the twist. Here is where the fun begins. They don't expect you to do anything about it. No. They expect you to do what you've always done. They expect you to fold, to break, to lie there quietly in the dirt, bleeding out, while they feast on whatever is left of your self-esteem. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of trying to patch up those little cracks in your old self, you took a sledgehammer and shattered the entire damn statue? What if you killed the version of yourself that was capable of being controlled? Just close your eyes and imagine it. Imagine the look on their smug, pathetic faces when they realize they've completely lost their grip on your collar. The leash snapped, and they're left holding an empty string. That's not just revenge, sweetheart. That is absolute, pure liberation. We live in a world built on lies. They sell you this gorgeous, glittering dream of kindness, forgiveness, second chances, and happily ever afters. They write little poems about it. They make movies about it. But the reality? The truth is much darker, much colder, and infinitely more amusing. Life doesn't reward the good, the soft, or the sweet. It punishes them. It eats them for breakfast and uses their bones as toothpicks. Every single time you let someone walk over you, every time you swallow your own voice just to keep the peace, you aren't being noble. You're just handing them another nail to drive into your own coffin. So tell me, how many nails are you planning to give them before you finally wake up from this pathetic little coma. People don't change because they see the light, kid. They don't change because of kindness or hope. They change because they are forced to. They change because the agony of staying the same finally becomes greater than the fear of jumping into the unknown. That is the key. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your most loyal ally. It's a flame. You can let it burn you, or you can use it to forge yourself into something so hard, so sharp, that they can't even look at you without cutting their eyes. You want to know what actually separates the powerful from the pathetic? It isn't muscle. It isn't a high IQ. It is simply the willingness to do what needs to be done, no matter how ugly, no matter how brutal. You have to learn to stop fighting the darkness. Embrace it. Let it coat your lungs. Let it run through your veins like liquid fire, because that is the only way to win in a world that is already pitch black. You have to become the very thing they are terrified of running into. Think about the dynamic of the herd. Who wins in the end? The sheep or the wolf? The wolf doesn't sit around crying, wondering if the sheep like him. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, I hope the flock thinks I'm a nice guy. The wolf doesn't apologize for his hunger. He doesn't ask for permission to survive. He simply takes what is his, and he thrives while the sheep tremble in their pens. Be the wolf. Rip that stupid plastic mask off your face and show them the teeth hiding underneath. Make them regret every single time they underestimated your capacity for chaos. Of course, they'll call you crazy. They always do. The moment you stop letting them control you, the moment you refuse to play their little game, they'll start whispering. Oh, they've gone mad. They're unstable. But let me tell you something. Being called crazy by people who are living in a complete delusion isn't an insult. It is the highest compliment you can ever receive. It means you finally opened your eyes. It means you've seen the wires and you've decided to cut them. Have you ever wondered why they all seem to move on so fast after they hurt you? Why your sudden absence didn't leave this massive, aching void in their lives like you thought it would? It's because the version of you that you were clinging to so desperately was completely disposable, replaceable, a dime a dozen. Do you honestly think they lose sleep over a tool they can no longer use? Do you think they sit in their rooms crying over a puppet that finally cut its strings? Oh, don't make me laugh. They don't care. They laugh about it. They mock you because as long as you stay the same, as long as you keep playing the nice, quiet, predictable victim, you are nothing but a footnote in their biography. But the very second you kill that old self, the very second you stop being, you think keeping your head down keeps you safe, don't you? You think if you just play the nice guy long enough, they'll eventually see your value and apologize. Let me teach you something about human nature. People only value what they cannot have. If you are always there, always forgiving, always offering a shoulder to cry on, you are just the air they breathe. Essential, sure, but completely unnoticed until it's gone. But if you vanish, if you burn the bridge and let the smoke fill their lungs, that is when they start to choke. That is when they realize what they threw away. Look at me. They thought they could put me in a box, too. They thought they could label me, catalog me, and file me away as just another broken man. But I didn't let their labels stick. I tore them off, along with a few layers of skin, and I made my own labels. Chaos, madness, unpredictability. They call these things flaws. I call them weapons. And I've used them to carve my name so deep into the walls of their perfect little world that they'll never be able to scrub it off. You don't need their pity, kid. You don't need their cheap plastic acceptance. What you need is their fear. Fear is respect in its purest, most raw, most honest form. It is the only language that power actually speaks. And once you learn how to speak it fluently, I promise you, you will never go unnoticed again. Here is a heavy truth. They don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. Your loyalty, your sweetness, your endless sacrifices, they aren't virtues. They are just currency in a transaction you never agreed to participate in. And the moment your wallet runs dry, they'll throw you into the trash like yesterday's newspapers. So why keep feeding them? Why keep handing your heart to people who only want to see how hard they can squeeze it before it pops? Kill that soft, validation-seeking part of yourself, and you will finally understand what real freedom feels like. The tone shifts, becoming slow, hypnotic, and heavy. You're sitting there thinking, but if I change, won't I lose myself? Won't I become a stranger in my own skin? Good. That is the entire point of the exercise. The person you've been up until this moment isn't working, is it? If it were, you wouldn't be standing here, drowning in your own self-doubt, begging for a way out. So lose yourself. Lose every single piece of you that made you feel small, quiet, and cooperative. Find the version of you that doesn't give a single damn about their opinions. The version that takes what it wants without waiting for a please or a thank you. Think about a snake. When it outgrows its skin, does it sit there crying, clinging to the old dry scales because it's sentimental? No. It scrapes itself against the rocks. It tears the old skin off and leaves it rotting in the dirt so it can grow larger, stronger, and more lethal. Be the snake. Shed your old life, and when they come looking for the person they used to bully, let them find nothing but a hollow, empty husk. Let them feel the heavy, suffocating weight of your absolute silence. Make them lie awake at night, haunted by the terrifying realization of what they created. Because you can't do that while you're still holding on to the past. You can't build a new castle while you're still playing in their sandbox. Kill the old self and let the new one rise, colder, harder, and completely untouchable. A quick, sharp intake of breath. They love to talk about redemption, don't they? They love to tell you that everyone deserves a second chance. But let me ask you a question, sweetheart. When did they ever give you yours? When was the last time someone reached their hand down into the pit to pull you out, instead of just kicking more dirt onto your head? Second chances aren't a right, kid. They'll try to drag you back down to their level using guilt, manipulation, or even love. But let me tell you something about their love. If it tries to keep you in a cage, it isn't love. It's just fear of losing control over you. You have to be strong enough to walk away from that fear, even if it means breaking their hearts, even if it means breaking your own. Freedom is expensive, sweetheart. It costs tears, it costs blood, and it costs scars. But it is worth every single drop. And when the work is done, when the old you is buried deep in the ground, do not look back. The past is dead, and you are the one who dug the grave. Look forward, be relentless, be unstoppable, because the very second you hesitate, the very second you show a hint of doubt, they will pounce on you like wild dogs and drag you right back into the shadows. Don't give them the satisfaction. Show them the version of you they never believed could exist. Make them choke on their own disbelief. And when they come crawling back, begging for the old you to return, you just look down at them, smile that beautiful, cold smile, and tell them that person died a long, long time ago. Act 12. The Wildlife. Before suddenly dropping into a dead, freezing whisper. Every empire, every revolution, every story that ever mattered started because one person decided they were done being the victim. One person decided to burn the script they were handed and write their own ending. That is what I'm offering you. The pen is in your hand. They want you small so they can feel tall. But you aren't small, are you? No. You are a storm waiting to happen. You are a wildfire waiting for a single match, and it is time to light it. Imagine them years from now, sitting in their boring, predictable little lives, and suddenly they see you. Strong, free, unapologetically alive. Imagine how their faces will drop. Imagine the knot in their stomachs when they realize they were the ones who pushed you to become this monster. That their cruelty was the very fuel that allowed you to rise. That is the ultimate irony, isn't it? Their hatred made you strong. And by the time they realize it, you'll be so far ahead of them that you won't even hear their cries. You won't even care, because you'll be too busy living. So go, tonight. Take a good long look in the mirror, say goodbye to the weakling, and burn the bridges. Let the ashes be a warning to anyone who ever dared to doubt you. Kill your old self, and let the real show begin.